Are you tired of knife reviewers showing you the same old boring knives over and over again, telling you how they're the best thing in the world? It's time for you to get the Artisan Cutlery Proponent. Once you get the Proponent, you'll be chopping through cardboard rolls like a lumberjack in the Smoky Mountains. Get it? The Proponent!
Not recommended for children under the age of 18 or wimpy dudes under the age of 60. Apparently today we're going to be reviewing the Artisan Cutlery Proponent.
The Proponent!
Shut up.
The Proponent.
Before we get any further with the review, I want you guys to tell me which you would prefer, the Kaiser Sheepdog XL or the Artisan Cutlery Proponent. Put it in the comments below. And don't forget to tell me why. Here is this massive hulking monster of G10 stainless steel liners and D2 blade steel. This thing's coming in with a very aggressive Warncliffe style blade shape with a flat grind that actually goes all the way up the blade despite having a fuller in the middle of the flat grind. I think that's pretty sweet. We have these massive thumb studs going along with some massive jimps to go on the spine of the blade, kind of sticking with the theme of just large and overbuilt.
The Proponent.
This slot right here is for a pin to kind of, in essence, turn this into a pseudo-fixed blade, should you choose to do so. Despite being a massive hulking knife, they still didn't forego quality. You can see here, they did the plunge grind with the sharpening choil really well, and you have a ton of room to sharpen. Right here you can see a massively overbuilt pocket clip. That is not deep carry. Here we can see some very large back spacers, along with this post right here that you can definitely tie a lanyard to. You have plenty of room where that blade is not going to cut into that lanyard. The G10 on this has a decent amount of grip, but they did a lot of things to this to where it's going to actually fit in your hand really well despite being a monstrous knife. We can see that they scalloped almost fingerprints for your fingers to go. My fingers don't necessarily land there. They actually land right where this fuller is, and it's still extremely comfortable. The hardware on this knife is T8, and then we have a flathead going around not only the thumb studs, the back post, but also the pivot. The only color on this knife is this red pivot collar that adds a pretty cool accent. The liners do have some milling, but it's not that much. This thing is still coming in at a whopping 9.5 ounces.
The Proponent.
For being such a large knife, this thing is rather fidgety. You can reverse flick it, you can thumb flick it, and you do have the flipper tab. And most times I find that to be too novel to where it annoys me. On something like this, it just makes it even more fun. Here it is next to your Rat Model 1 and your Rat Model 2, your Off-Grid Scorpion, and your Benchmade Bug Out. And last, your Paramilitary 2 and your Hinderer XM18 3.5 inch. So what's bad about this knife? It gets kind of difficult to criticize something that is meant to be novel, that is meant to be overbuilt and just large. I want to say the weight is bad and the carry is bad, but we kind of know that going into it. So yeah, the weight is bad. In your pocket, it doesn't carry that well. But if you buy this and you don't already know that, that's kind of your fault. In trying to come up with a list of average items on this, there is nothing average about the Artisan Cutlery Proponent. Again, it is large, it is massive, it is novel.
The Proponent.
And nothing about it, the pocket clip, the thumb studs, the blade shape, the size, the weight, the action isn't even average. The action's great. So again, I don't have too many things average to say about it. So let's talk about the great with this monstrous knife here. First and foremost, if you're somebody that likes massively overbuilt stuff, then the bad point turns into a great point for you because this is massively overbuilt.
The Proponent.
The action is really, really good. And yes, that is a product of the blade being so damn heavy, but it's good nonetheless. The construction of this is done so solid that you're actually not worried about breaking anything except for maybe the tip of this blade, which it does get pretty pointy at the end, but it's just the tip. The rest of it's just ridiculous. And the last great thing I'm gonna say about this, you wouldn't expect this to cut well, but I'm telling you guys, in hand, it feels great and it slices really good. That full flat grind does really well despite having a blade stock of 180 thousandths. It still comes to a rather narrow behind the edge with a full flat grind, and I have no problems with this other than carrying it. Realistically, this is a knife that nobody needs. This is a knife that is too much for everything. Can I recommend you buy this? Yeah. Even if you're a small knife guy, this is gonna make you smile, and the D2 version's only $70. This thing's a beast and too much fun.
The Proponent!